So I'm Demonac, and it's Hearthstone ranked time. So I'm rank 16, one rank away from 15, but the season's almost up already. These 1 month seasons, I'm going to have to get the hang of them if I'm going to be recording these ranked games. For now, I'm going to play around a little bit more. I mean, I'm obviously not going to get very far, and they also don't have rewards yet. So I think they won't have next month either. Anyway, I'm going to play around with some other decks. We'll take a look here at this fairly suicidal Warlock deck that I've set up. I've had another Warlock deck that I've played with quite a bunch. I'm trying something new. This is very much not my normal style, which makes it sort of interesting, I think. So the theory with this deck is you have all these cards, like so far you have to discard a card at random from your hand. Succubus, the same thing. And Doomguard, you have to discard 2 random cards from your hand. This is the card disadvantage from that is horrible, especially since it's random. It can totally screw you early on. But I'm playing with all of those cards at once because the theory is once you empty your hand, now whenever you draw one of those cards, it's just a very inexpensive card with very little, if any, drawback, right? If it's each turn I can draw 2 cards. If the first card is a Succubus or a Doomguard, I can just play it. No drawback. And then draw another card. And then see what that is. Now, if I draw the other card... Now, if the other card is something else, and I draw a card first and get a Succubus, I have to see, can I play the other card first? But either way, this is still very cheap for the stats it gives. And again, in a deck designed how I would normally do it, I don't like that so much. I don't find that it's worth the random discard. When you play this second, like, if you play it second turn, or if you coin it out on your first turn, this is pretty darn strong. But if it dies, it really hurt you to lose a card at random. And even if it stays out there, like any later in the game, unless you play it at that absolute first instant that you could, it's not really beneficial enough to be worth the discard. But, again, with this theory that I'm going to empty my hand at some point in the game, and from then on, all these discard things become less important. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but building onto that, the Doomguard is a huge guy with charge. I add in my Argent Commanders, who are a big guy with charge. I still have Ragnaros and Leroy Jenkins, which both do something, which are both basically giant charge things, even if Ragnaros is a little weird. Because I'm playing with all these big creatures, like the Doomguards can take a Hellfire, the Argent Commander can survive it, plus my deck is just super aggressive with everything. I've got Bluegills for more charge, and then most of my other creatures are the, like, Acidic Oozes, Ironbeak Owls, which I'm playing them for their come-into-play abilities. I'm obviously not as worried about their offensive potential. I've got Harvest Golem, so basically the deck doesn't mind using Hellfire to just burn down the opponent very fast. I don't mind soul-firing my opponent. Normally I'd try and save cards for more creature removal, but this deck is just like, oh hell, go all in, full aggro. So let's take a look at how it works out. I've played it a whole lot in casual, but let's see how it goes in ranked play. Probably a bad idea. Now there are certain classes that this is less good against. I have a hard time with Shamans, because if they just keep putting out totems, it's difficult for this deck to keep blowing up the totems to keep them at bay, and I always get screwed. You've watched me in the arena a million times get screwed by Shamans because I don't like killing the totems if they don't feel like they're harming me, but leaving those things alive, even silenced, you get screwed by Bloodlust and the Flame Tongue totem. Okay, so here's my starting hand. I'm going second so I can coin out a Succubus. We're obviously getting rid of Siphon Soul because it's expensive. And, you know, I have this early play. I might actually keep the Shadow Bolt. Sometimes I don't like to, but Oh, Harvest Golem. Now I got choices too. So let's see what the Warrior does first and hope that I can get some good mileage out of coining out a Succubus. That's kind of like the fact that he has a first turn play, not that surprising, but it is kind of unfortunate because now it would not take much for him to trade that and finish off the Succubus. So that's making me think twice about how to do that. I might not want to coin that out. Speaking of thinking, this guy is taking a hell of a lot of time for his turn. Okay, we're definitely going to save that since we're against a warrior. Do I coin out the owl, which would prevent 2 damage to me, and then I can probably trade it for that. It might draw out any removal. Or I could wait and coin out the harvest golem.
So many possibilities.
You know what? Because I'm saving myself 2 damage by that, it's probably stupid, but I'm going to coin out the owl. And I do have the option of playing the succubus or the swamp ooze next turn. Although, I probably don't want to play the swamp ooze next turn unless he drops an axe. In which case, it would be awesome. No. He's going to go aggressive. That is interesting, because I am also aggressive. So aggressive. Okay, well now what I can do is I'm going to kill this. Because I think it's a lot harder for a warrior to just do 3 damage. Lost Ragnaros, you're going to lose good cards all the time. When your deck is all random discards, you just don't stress about it. Which is very much not my normal playstyle. I normally just avoid stuff like this, like the Plague, because I want total control over everything. This deck is going in a different direction. It's all in. So that's probably going to kill my Succubus. At least I get to hit him for 4 first. The doing 1 damage isn't going to help much right now. I can use that when he comes back. So I guess I'll just play my own and deliver some beatings. So what is he going to use to kill the Succubus? Again, he only needs to do 1 more damage if he hits it with this thing. There are many ways he can do this. Or he can go all out and play a Kokron Elite. And he's still on offense. This is interesting because we're both kind of operating on the theory of just killing our opponent outright, not worrying about stuff. Can't do that quite yet, but I'm going to want to dump a lot of cards here, I think. So, this guy's more important to kill. I'm thinking I probably am going to want to Shadow Bolt and kill the other creature. Like, I'm going to want to wipe them both out. But since this guy's more important to kill, well, it's tough. You know what, I might just commit to Shadow Bolting him, because if I can hit that and not have to use my Death Rattle. If I hit that, Mortal Coil, and then Shadow Bolt this guy. I guess we'll do that. Can't imagine I'd get anything better than Shadow Bolt, since this is doing what I want it to right now. I'm sure he's got some big weapons coming. If he's willing to just go full offense like that, though, not even try and kill my stuff. It is interesting to be racing, and maybe that's a good strategy against a Warlock, because it makes it hard for me to be drawing more cards. If he's killing me as fast as he can, and I'm killing me as fast as I can, that doesn't work well.
Mind if I roll need?
That's it. These things, you play them a little bit differently now. At least I do. I just playing them more aggressively. Like, I have a more aggressive aggro sort of warrior deck now, too. And I do actually play this as a 3rd turn play, which you would never do before they nerfed it, or changed it anyway. But now, it makes total sense. So, as much as I would like to put out the Void Walker, I'm probably going to lose him, and I'm probably going to lose him in the... Well, any 2 cards I lose is going to be annoying, but screw it. I have a Doomguard. Yeah, any cards I lose was going to be annoying. She is giving haste to everything, so I guess I'm going to have to crush her. Which does leave him a little vulnerable. He's only a 5/5 now, but... Board control is still pretty good. My opponent has way more cards than I do. I can, of course, get more cards by paying life. That is pretty lame. That is very unfortunate, considering I gave up 2 cards to play him. These are the breaks. Maybe I should have just hit him for 5? I don't know, though, because you can do a lot of nasty things when all your guys have charge. You can play, like, he would have been charged, which with his ability is pretty rough. Okay. So what do we got? We have a Bluegill Warrior. We're going to draw a card first. See what we got. Wish I'd drawn that first. It would have been handy. So, I guess we're going to kill this guy. He could be a problem. Yeah, you really don't need that. You don't need to waste time on that ability there. not a very strong turn for me, but eh. If he plays something big now, I can definitely blow it up, and that would be fine. I don't think this guy is going to play a lot of big creatures, though. He probably has a finisher or two in there, but he seems to be much more like a very aggressive rush deck. I have to worry about the fact that when I get down lower, he's going to play like a Gore Howl, or at the very least, the 5-attack axe.
Charge forward!
Another one of her.
I hope you like my invention.
That's surprisingly effective, since I have a taunt guy with 1 toughness. He is still full 1,000,000% aggro, which is still a little bit surprising and weird to me, but again, against a Warlock, I guess it makes sense. I need to save this ooze. I think I'm going to blow her up. I hate to waste this thing, but that goes through cards fast. And I think he's going to play a weapon soon. So I need the 3 life that I gained from doing this. Again, I can still draw 2 cards a turn if I have to. All he can do is gain 2 life a turn if he doesn't have cards.
Try this.
Okay, there's a weapon. That's not really the weapon I wanted to ooze, but might have to anyway, because I'm going to be taking the beats. It's going to be close. I need to draw something pretty impressive now. Firestorm would have been nice. Let's try and draw a Firestorm. Nope. Okay then.
Why do you call?
I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to have to go a little bit more defensive now. I'm going to buff this guy, even though I'd usually rather buff things on my turn. He is a taunt guy, so it makes a lot of sense to do that. And I'm going to kill the ooze. Because I am sort of losing the hit point war. I hate that I had to play the Acid Ooze, but I wasn't going to have any momentum at all if I didn't do that. Plus, I've got a lot more random discards coming. I want to emptying my hand is good. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm glad this guy's as big as he is. It'll still take a little bit of effort to get rid of him. Sacrifices must be made. Looking a lot like a board wipe. My opponent has a lot more health than I do. I draw 2 cards a turn. He's going to get a card from that, though. What do we got? A Succubus. We play the Succubus. Then we draw a card and see where we are. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. This would have been much better before the Succubus, but it doesn't work right. Actually, I guess I probably could have waited. It depends, though. If I drew like if I had drawn another Doom Guard, I could just play him now and I'd be doing awesome. But no.
I wonder.
Yes, I'm going to have to do that. My life's going to be very low after the Hellfire.
Try this.
That's no good. And he's still just going for the kill, because it does make it harder for me to draw cards. He has the advantage on that side. This guy's very efficient. This is going to draw him a card. Yeah, I got problems. If I Hellfire, then I'm going to be at 4. He's got 2 damage right from that, and any other if he draws a bigger weapon, obviously I'm just dead. If I don't Hellfire, then what do? I'm like, I guess I could kill that and not kill him, or kill that and be taking 2. It doesn't work, so I don't really have much choice. I've got a Hellfire.
As the master wishes.
This game is looking like a loss. He gets a card from that, which is pretty bad. I can't draw cards anymore because that'll do 2 damage to me, so this is all I can do. I did have to throw away my Ragnaros early on. I threw away one of my Argent Commanders, so... Nope, okay, game over. Was not my ideal opponent, that's for sure. Try again. I don't know how that worked. I don't know if that was... Felt like my deck performed in a sort of averagey fashion. It didn't seem like he did anything too spectacular. He just had... His stuff was pretty good against me, just countering my rush with rush is kind of hard for the life totals. I don't have much chance to stabilize. Get rid of that, and keep the rest, I guess. Now again, I told you, shamans are tough because it's hard for me to keep the population of totems down and still make progress towards killing my opponent, because they both get the free totems and they have tons of direct damage to sweep the board with. I'm going to spend my coin this turn. I'm just going to put him out. He's a pretty darn good play. Yeah, like I said, it's not. I'm not a big fan of the random discard cards. When I'm not playing this deck, my default for a Warlock is that I will only play one card with a random discard in the whole deck. I play one Soulfire, because that way I never get two Soulfires in my hand and have like one discarded for the other. Because I just hate that so much. Okay, so he used the Rockbiter. That was a pretty good use of the Rockbiter weapon, I guess. I find it's a crappy card, but there are combos with it, and they put it in their deck because they have a chance to get crazy Wind Fury combos with it later. I'm going to save the coin. I think I can get a big thing out of it, or it might just eat a random discard for me. So I'm just going to go pushing the offense. A good casting cost curve this, and next turn to Harvest Golem. Works out fine. You're playing one of those sort of things. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to silence it, that's for sure. He's going to play a Defender of Argus and give it taunt. Or he could play the Sun Fury Protector and make a totem and give them both taunt. Not in that order.
Feel the power of the wind.
Okay, his plan is going to be to silence this guy, obviously. I'm going to have to waste some effort killing him, it looks like. How do I want to do this? Hellfire takes my whole turn.
I wonder.
But it will leave me with a creature and him with none. So I think that's what we're going to do. Like this. Oh, I needed to attack him first. I'm dumb.
That was a mistake.
That was dumb. I could have done a free 2 damage. Ooh. At which point I would actually be doing pretty well. I would have already done 10 damage this early in the game. And taken very little in return. Give me a better card. That's a better card. I wish I had it first because I could have coined him out, but now I can't. Let's get him for 2. And this seems ridiculous, but look at all these cards I have in my hand. Some of them are going to get discarded anyway. I'm going to blow up his stupid totem, because now he can't just play a Flame Tongue totem and attack me with it. Which is what always happens if I leave him alive. Like if I just silenced it. That's a little annoying. I may just ignore that, which is probably stupid. Because the same logic applies as with like the totem. But it takes too much effort to kill that guy. And yeah, I was thinking of doing this now, but there's no advantage to it. Got more cards. Yeah, I can't let him build up more forces, which means this was probably stupid. And he can hex this, so I almost certainly should have hit that and then finished it. I don't know. I just hate that I couldn't do them in the same turn.
Pass me that arc light
He's probably not going to use his attack on my bubble, though, unless he's got a way to finish it. Damn. Can he just top deck that Hex? Because that's annoying. See, if I draw a card, I could get a Doom Guard, which would finish him. And I'll still have enough mana to do this and that, but so excessive. Well, let's see what I get. Mortal Coil! I didn't even think of that. I'm a dumbass, because that's exactly what I need. You know what? I'm near my, top mana. It's like a waste of the coin, sort of, but I'm going to use my coin anyway. More aggression. Give him something to think about. That's actually really dumb, because I could have saved that. This could have been a surprise. Instead, I just did 2 more damage. But look, he's at 14. I have potentially 8 damage in my hand if I get lucky and don't, discard one to the other. So I'm surprisingly close to being able to finish him. Although, that doesn't help. So I can kill that and then... Yep. Okay, what do we got? Demon Fire. Well, blowing him up seems like a no-brainer, although I could just silence him. Let's draw a card. That's what we do. 2 Demon Fires. Okay. Alright then. Well, we're going to blow him up anyway. Do I blow up the Yeti? It takes a lot of effort. It takes 2 mana and then one of these. Which means I have less damage to just throw directly at him. But he could, Bloodlust, he could do a ton of damage just with those 2 things. I'd like to get this out, but his odd mana cost is not helping. I'm gonna do it. Probably dumb. No. These have discarded what I wanted. And yeah, I'm saving the owl in case there's something much worse that needs to be disenchanted. Silenced. But this is not really going well. I haven't drawn any of my bigger cards. Another problem with Shamans, Leroy Jenkins is, which I have in here, is not as good against Shamans. I kind of need some way to kill those stupid things. Because he could turn around, you Leroy Jenkins him, he could turn around in Bloodlust, and he gets the plus. He gets more damage from those 2 guys than you got from Leroy. Okay, so I could Siphon Soul him, which seems excessive, but wouldn't hurt. And then silence that. There'd still be a lot of junk out there, but I think this is what it's called for right now. Definitely leaving myself vulnerable to everything. Basically everything. Come on. What will you do? What will you do? Just not draw anything big. Instead of the Harvest Golems, I used to have my Azure Drakes in here, which I love, right? They make things do more damage. They're 4/4 for 5 that draws me a card. They're awesome, but I felt that the deck overall was a little bit too slow with them. That was just another 5 mana card, and all the 5 mana cards would get clogged up, and I couldn't play all my cards fast enough. Now, other people who play decks like this would likely play Leper Gnomes and other really inexpensive stuff, but okay. So he is starting to burn me down, which means I probably have to blow up as many of these as I can to avoid getting bloodlusted. To kill that, that's a no-brainer. First thing I'm going to do is see... I'm just drawing a card. Probably suicidal, but I'm going to see if I draw something impressive, like a Hellfire. Leroy Jenkins, this is the problem we're talking about. If I Leroy, I'm going to die. I need to use him as a finisher. Note how close I am to finishing him, though. In fact, if I save Leroy in my hand, I can go Argent Commander, Leroy, and that's 14 damage right there. But I don't trust that I will not die.
I wonder.
As much as it would be great to do that as a surprise, I'm pretty sure I need to kill one of these things. Because otherwise he had 6 damage just with Bloodlust, with nothing else on the board. And if he had 1 haste creature in Bloodlust, I was mega dead. I'm already very precariously close to dead. He might just kill me this turn. But if he doesn't, he's going to have a hard time surviving this. Pretty sure he's doing all kinds of math, like lava math. You note that this one has more stats than the other one, but that 1 hit point really doesn't matter compared to that +1 spell power possibly killing me. Okay, well that hurts. It's a good sign that he's not killing me this turn, though, because he wouldn't need to do that. That is unpleasant. Okay. I'm still just not in the right place to kill him, but I can actually gain life from blowing that up. We're going to save Leroy. We have 10 damage in my hand. I just need to get another 4 damage on this guy. And then I can blow him away. That's what I'm sitting with in my hand. Now, I'm probably going to draw a Doomguard or something, which will mess up this whole plan. But even then, I can go Doomguard Leroy and do 9 that way. Again, the Doomguard discards 2 cards. There's no way I can use it and this.
I wonder.
Excuse me. So, not a Taunt Totem, but it is spell damage, if spell damage is what he was looking for. I have 3 more hit points now, so... Okay, so he's blowing up the Harvester's first form. And then what's he going to do? He's going to axe it. Axe could be a problem. He's running out of cards, but he does have 2 more uses of that axe left. So, let's see. Hellfire. Hellfire will do 3 damage to him. He would be at 9 plus 10. I win. That's how this deck works. Usually I hope it works faster than that, but what are you going to do? Boom. Mega crazy suicide aggro. It's funny because this deck has like all the Warlock cards, which are not only are fairly suicidal cards, but they're all the ones that I normally don't like in Warlock decks, but when you put them all together, you get a pretty powerful sort of theme going. So that was 2 games with that. I'll probably play a couple more with it next time. Show some love to the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.